welcome back to a new video of the So You Wanna Play Najdorf series. In these chapters we are going to cover one of the most common themes of the Najdorf position, which is the white pawn storm against black's kingside, where most of the times we'll find the opponent's king waiting. Even if action, especially in the Najdorf, unravels in the whole board, we can't begin our study by pointing out every theme in every position. That's why we are going to divide them. Okay, let's begin with what we already know, which is c4, c5, until the position of the main deviation, which is bishop after bishop e7, and f3 we've already seen, which is called the English attack, one of the most popular lines in the Najdorf, but not the only one in which we can begin the pawn storm. Basically, there are three ways for black to encounter the pawn storm, which are: the first one, we may say, that is black remains totally passive all the time, doing not very useful moves, nor in attack nor in defense, which is of course the best one for white. The second one is that black makes a prophylactic move to prevent somehow the pawn storm. For example, h6, h5, even g6. The kind of moves are very popular lately. They are giving very good results for black, but we're going to see them in a separate chapter, of course. And the third one, and the most dynamic one, is that black answers by counter-attacking with their own pawn storm in the queen side, so that a pawn race starts. That kind of positions without defense, just trying to attack, is the one that we are going to see now. And as I have said, f3 is one of the most popular continuations because it's a very versatile move. It serves many purposes. One of those is to aid e4 pawn, just in case we move the c3 knight. Another one is to forbid the bishop or the knight to get to g4 for the moment. And another one, very important in this video, is that it aids our own g4 pawn advance. At first, when we look at this position and we are trying to make a pawn storm, we could think that advancing as much as possible our kingside pawns will make the best possible pawn storm. But let's see with a little ease and calm the pawn storming possibilities we have in this position. We have f4, which hasn't been very popular along Najdorf history, but is having a lot of attention lately. What white is trying with this move is not only to exert pressure in the king side, but also attacking the center, menacing a future f takes e5 in case white considers it a good attacking possibility, or making black to take with e takes f4 and weakening black's center, which, even if they have a backward pawn, the one we already know, if it's properly managed, doesn't prove to be a decisive weakness in most of the lines. Here we can encounter also a further pawn advance until f5, and of course the white player is not trying to do a full pawn storm. That would be the best thing to do if we didn't encounter resistance, but there are black pieces, there are black pawns, and we can do that. We don't have time to slowly push our four pawns on the king side, remove every resistance we find, and get, after say 30 moves, to the destination, because black generally wants to do something in the game also. So the way black has tended to fight this kind of positions is by, say for example, fianchetting with the bishop after b5, and pressuring this diagonal so that this backward pawn is somehow attacked. Of course, if white accepts this position, it's because he thinks that it has compensation, the same way that black pushes e5 and gets a d6 backward pawn, because they think that, well, it is worth it despite the defects the move and the position that arises may have. Also, I would recommend you, if you are playing with white, to have as much control of the d file as you can, because another very popular way of trying to remove white's attack for black is to prepare their own push on d5, so that e4 pawn is once more attacked, and once the backward pawn is attacked or removed, the white center tends to weaken and black gets a whole lot more of a space. So it's very good, and it's very common in these positions for white to get their rooks to d1, the queen maybe to d2, and keep an eye for any possible d5 advances that may happen after. So either if we play f5, or if we are planning to continue another pawn, the pawn storm with h3, g4, g5, it is proven that generally we don't have enough moves to do that, because the black's attack will be pressuring for us too much, so that we can with ease and slowly be pushing white's pawns.